Good morning. Welcome. I'm back here to share an idea with you. To make the idea clear, I'm going to share one small incident that is associated with this idea. What happened? Once there was one officer and he was working with a corporate office. So while he was working, one day he got an assignment with an offer of hefty sum of money. There was a client who was offering him a huge sum, but he had to compromise with certain things to get the work done. He was a bit confused whether he would accept the offer or not. So he took a day's time from the client and promised him to discuss the issue next day. He came back home and he was a bit disturbed because he was in a dilemma or in a fix to do or not to do. He lived with his mother. Mother was not highly qualified or educated. She was an illiterate lady. He discussed all the facts and the figures and all the details of the offer that the client offered him. After listening to him for a long time, in the end, mother said, "Son, listen. Whenever I wake up in the morning, you're always sound sleep. And I have to struggle a lot to wake you up. The next day or in the morning, I don't want to see you awoke and to make you get up. So I wish that you should have the same sound sleep tomorrow in the morning too." Then she left. The man talked to himself and realized that he got the answer. Yes, these are the values which make us understand what is right or wrong. And these values are intrinsic in the whole world. And we as humans are the protectors as well as the promoters of these values. And the most important thing is these values are universal and they are eternal. Like all the principles of science, they are universal. Like if you make water spill anywhere, it will fall down and it will flow down. You may make it fall in any part or any part of this earth. It is always flowing down because of the principle of gravity. If I prick you with a pin, you will feel a pain. And anybody who is pricked with a pin will feel that pain. So this feeling of the pain is universal. So the law of pain is universal. The flowing of the water is a universal. Fire burns. That is universal truth. So these are the facts. Same way, the values are also universal. They won't change according to calendar or time or circumstances or situations. If the values they change according to situations and circumstances, they are not the values to be accepted. There is a compromising with the values. Any commerce, any business like science, there are some benchmarks, there are some standards to be established. If these benchmarks are not met with, there is a decline, there is a degradation, and there is going down from your set standards. To make it clear, one more incident once happened. There was an old lady. She was waiting for the bus at the bus stop. She was carrying 2 bags of groceries. A bus came and stopped at the stop. And there was a bit rush. She boarded the bus, and when she was walking across the aisle is the passage between 2 rows of the seats on both ends. Suddenly a boy came and he pushed her aside and just took a long step and occupied the seat where the lady was going to sit. And she fell onto her face, and all the bags and grocery items, they got scattered. There were many passengers in the bus. There was a lady, she was quite elite and urbane, means very cultured and genteel. She immediately said, the boy has no manners and he has a complete lack of etiquettes. There was a surgeon, a doctor, he said, the woman might have got her 2 or 3 bones broken. There was a lawyer, he said, there must be some kind of litigation or laws in the legal system to take an action against such boys. Then there was one psychiatrist, a person who deals with the psychological problems of the humans. He said, the boy needs some psychological treatment. So different people have different prospects. They have different perspectives, social, legal, medical, or even psychological. But among all these, nobody raised the right question. The right question is if the behavior was right or wrong. So the main question is to make it understood in a value-based society what is most important, that is to make a differentiation or a difference between right and wrong. The actual question which arises, or the questions which arise, they are, should the boy behave like this to that woman? Or in general, the question is, should anybody have to behave like this with anyone else? So when we understand this thing, what is right for us or wrong for us, the way we have to behave, we establish a value system, and that value system works for the smooth functioning of the society. Now these values we won't get inbuilt in us. We are not born with these values. These values we attain from our surroundings, from our family members, from our social circle, maybe from our neighborhood, neighbors, or from the country in particular. So if we grow into good humans, we grow into good adults, we grow a good society. When we grow a good society, of course, we grow a good country. So a country which is based on values never fails. Thank you. Thanks for listening to me. Keep waiting for the next. I'll be back. Thank you very much.